are listening to a One Pint Stand, a Minnesota craft beer podcast that tells the stories of craft beer in Minnesota and beyond. So kick back, relax, and grab a cold one. The show starts now. Hello, my name is Dan Bobian, and I write, produce, and host a One Pint Stand. I'm really ecstatic that you're listening. This podcast has been a passion project of mine since 2016. On this episode, I sit down with Brett Erickson, the owner of First Draft Tap Solutions. Now, I've known Brett for years, way back to when he was the head brewer at Wabasha Brewing Company in St. Paul. I thought it would be good to sit down and talk about his new venture, which is a line cleaning business. We chat about the importance of line cleaning and how it works on both a commercial and home brewing level. So we recorded this at Sea Salt at Minnehaha Falls in Minneapolis. So let's get out to my beer chat with Brett about line cleaning. Cheers. Hello and welcome to another on-location episode of a One Pint Stand. I'm here with Brett Erickson from First Draft Tap Solutions. Brett, thank you for joining me on this slightly sunny, 1 minute, cloudy the next minute day. We're at Sea Salt in Minneapolis. This is the first al fresco podcast we've had, so this is very exciting. How are you doing today, sir?
Good.
Yeah, nice. Yes. So the focus of today's episode is going to be a lot about draft line cleaning, tap line cleaning. So before we get into the caustic and tubes of it all, what is First Draft Tap Solutions? What services do you provide? How did it come to be?
Well, basically we service tap lines all over the metro here. So we do anything from install to just if you have a problem, we'll come out and fix it. And then we go in and clean lines every 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. So this is not your...
And when I say we, I mean me.
Yeah, it's just you. You and whatever imaginary friends you have with you that day. Now, this is not your first foray into the craft beer industry.
No.
How long have you been involved in the craft beer industry?
A little over 13 years.
Okay. I want to say this is probably your fourth time on my podcast.
It is.
Yeah, nice. He's a four-timer, folks. I think Aaron Ziert and maybe Cable are the only other two four-timers. Maybe Sean Lill, although I think he's only been on 3 times. So there's some... Derek Allmendinger's been on twice. But, yeah, you're in rarefied air. I feel like I should have whittled you a plaque of some kind to commemorate this, which probably instantly jumps into your top 5 life moments. Before we started recording, you were talking about your... what kind of bird is that? You were talking about your kind of spiritual awakening on your travels to Laos.
Yeah.
Does this rank up there with that, with being a monk for a day? I don't have a robe for you, but like as you woke up this morning and thought, you know what? I'm going to hang out with Dan today. He's going to have his microphones, and this is going to be, bring me closer to, what did he say in Caddyshack? On my deathbed, I will receive total consciousness.
You ready? I honestly woke up this morning, and I was like, what the hell are we going to talk about?
Well, don't worry. I brought questions. The transition into draft cleaning. Why? Aren't there less strenuous ways to spend an afternoon? Or no, you get up at the butt crack of dawn. You were just telling me that you're cleaning some lines tomorrow.
Most bars open at 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
Bars, restaurants, whatever. So most of them open at 11 in the morning. So you got to get in and get out. And the funny thing is when you go to talk to new accounts or whatever, a lot of times the first thing you ask for is keys and codes. Which is like, yeah, hey, you just met me and you're going to pay me. I need keys and codes to your building.
Yeah, very direct.
Yeah,
very non-Minnesotan.
You can't just do one a day, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you ask for, which is always a little bit of a weird thing.
Yeah. Keys and codes. It's important. So how many when you're out there? I guess let's back up. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but why did you decide? You want to talk about like your career
Sure.
at Wabasha?
Sure.
Because you that was kind of like your first foray into craft beer.
Yeah. So originally, I'm the co-founder and head brewer and chief of operations of Wabasha for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 10 years and 11 years. And I just noticed when we were selling beer, we had a lot of problems out there. There's a lot of people, a lot of bars that just don't clean or didn't even know they had to. It's more of a didn't know they had to. And also, they're just, it's an extra expense.
Sure.
And so it's something that I saw a niche in that I thought we needed, especially across the metro. And I'm not saying, it doesn't happen other places, but here in Minnesota, there just wasn't enough of it going on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you start First Draft Tap Solutions. Did you? How easy or difficult was it to find clients or people to work with? And maybe you want to say a little bit about like the services that you provide.
Sure.
Because when I think Tap Solutions, I think tap dance choreography, but maybe it's different. I don't know if that's.
Well, how I started getting into it in the first place is, a buddy of mine owns Best Line Cleaning.
Okay.
And so he kind of got me talking about it. This is way back. And so he was always cleaning Wabasha. He was also a part of Wabasha.
Okay.
And so ultimately, when I decided to step away from Wabasha, it was kind of like I was in this void.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly sure what to do next. And then
I remember that. You got a second phone.
Yeah.
Started listening to a lot of sitar music. It was a different time for you.
Different time.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, I just decided that maybe this is something I should go into. And so, as far as getting clients, it's old school.
Yeah.
You're just beating down doors, getting cards out there, stopping and talking. So currently, right now, I've got, off the top of my head, I got 12 to 15 clients.
Okay.
It's only about 2 days worth of work right now.
Are you looking up that?
I'm totally looking up that always.
Oh, well, that's good because this show goes. I mean, used to be I would joke around. I have 7 listeners. I think I'm up to 11 or 12 now. So you're getting a lot of people are going to hear this. Brewers, maybe bar managers, bar owners, and home brewers. So
I think it's going to climb fast. Ultimately, up until just like a month ago or so, I really didn't have time.
Yeah.
I had been, with Wabasha, I'd been working so hard for so many years that I really needed some time for myself. So when I started this, I was just going to slow go it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of started it with like just a few clients and just kind of slowly built a portfolio.
Sure.
And now I'm kind of starting to, at the end of my day, I usually hit about 2-3 bars on my way home. And so now it's going to grow a little faster.
And you would do that normally, just not with a...
not with a card.
Not looking for...
Yeah, exactly.
You're not asking for keys and codes. You're asking for 16-ounce pours and some Hot Pockets. So you're up to, you said 12 to 15 clients. Do you do multiple line cleanings in a day?
Oh, yeah. But it depends.
How long does it take?
Well, it depends on the account.
Okay.
So, like today, I only did 3.
Okay.
But one of them's a 32 tap system. The other one's a 36.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one's a 10 that I just kind of finished my day with.
Okay.
If they were all 10 and 12s or less, I could probably, so tomorrow I'll do 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 stops?
6 stops.
Oh, wow. Okay. So tap lining, cleaning service. What other things?
So we do full-on install, and then, to be honest with you, I fill a lot of my week with these little calls where people are having issues.
What's an example of something that somebody
from
might...
small to large?
Yeah. Give me like the 12 tap brewery, and then give me like the 30 line bar
it,
restaurant.
It's just kind of site specific, so it doesn't really matter. So, like, as far as that goes, the systems are the systems. Like, once you understand them, it just is what it is. But, like, so I've gotten a phone call as close as, like, just showing and realizing that their CO2 was out, and they just needed to switch a tank.
Okay.
And then I've got a call where it was pouring super foamy.
So if a beer line is pouring foamy, where do you start? Like, how do you begin to diagnose that problem?
Well, there's two enemies, air and heat.
Okay.
And
I was going to say, when I think of foamy beer, I think it's maybe not cold enough.
Yeah, so you generally, you just kind of you figure out where the cooler's coming in at. What I'll do is I'll just walk up to the tap, pour a glass, and I'll throw my own thermometer in it. I want to see where it's coming at.
Okay.
Then from there, you just move backwards.
Okay.
So you got to follow your signal flow, I like to call it. So where's your source? Where's that's coming from? And you just kind of follow it. What's going on? So you start taking couplers apart, changing seals.
Okay.
There's not a lot to an actual coupler and the seals. Like, there's some of the seals are a pain to put on, but once and a lot of times it might not even be your fault.
Yeah.
Because seals go bad in kegs.
Yeah.
Not very often, but they do go bad.
Okay.
And when they go bad, you could be having problems. The best thing to do in a situation like that, if you have a bar or restaurant, is tap another beer and run that other beer
and just see how it goes.
What's going on.
That's interesting. And when you say coupler, that is where the thing kind of screws into the keg. It's
Correct.
that metal thing with the spring-loaded.
Correct. Yep.
Fun fact. See this scar on my thing? I got this when I was undoing a coupler, and I touched the light bulb in my kegerator. It's like an old fridge.
Sure.
This happened last winter. It's not going away.
I
don't know.
A bruise.
Yeah, no. This is from me trying to go one-on-one with a coupler at a weird angle. So those things can be a little tricky. So line cleaning, troubleshooting, different things. Excessive foam? I think that's pretty common. Mm-hmm. What are some other common things you run into?
Worn out seals and stuff like that are just really common.
Okay.
You got to remember, there's really the coupler we talked about, a few seals, a line, and then going to your shank, ultimately your tap. So there's just not a lot of pieces. Another thing I tell people to do is sometimes you just need to take that faucet apart. It's 3 pieces. And you take it apart, and you could find something in there that you're like, oh, there's a big chunk of mold in here that I need to get out of here. You know, another thing that could be causing foaming is you could just have that thing just cranked way up.
Yeah.
Not balanced correctly.
Here's another.
There's a weird balance between how much CO2 you need to be adding. I can't go into the mathematical equation on a podcast.
Good, because I didn't bring any Tylenol. So if you start talking about math, I'm gonna keel over.
There's a balance that you need to do between the keg and the faucet.
Mm-hmm. So
one thing I like to tell people is, like, when you pour a beer and you shut it off, if you look at the line and all of a sudden you watch these little tiny bubbles trickle up, a lot of people go, oh, my coupler's catching air. It might be, but it probably isn't. And what I tell people is just turn it up just a couple pounds and see what happens.
Okay.
Slowly just keep doing it. You got to get that air. You got to get that, because the CO2 is constantly trying to leave the liquid.
Okay.
So you need to put enough back pressure on it to keep it in the liquid.
Oh, and that's where that balance comes in.
Balance.
Okay.
So if you have 5 feet of line, let's just say, in a regular kegerator, you should be pushing anywhere from 12 to 15 pounds.
Yeah.
A lot of people crank it way down because they're like, oh, it's coming out too fast. No. You need to, have at least 5 feet of line. The biggest, one of the things that I see a lot is, especially those roll-in kegerators, is the first thing people do is they cut out 2 feet of line.
Okay.
They go, I don't need all this line. You need that line.
Yeah.
Keep that 5 feet of line.
Yeah, I always everything I read was like 6. So I always when I used to go to home brewer or Northern Brewer, cut 6 a 6-foot tube for me. So
it
I'm
helps
replacing
balance
that.
You got to balance the liquid between the keg and the faucet.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I mean, there's a lot of, like you said, it's simple yet not, because there's so many different things that can go wrong. Also, I think that if you're using conventional wisdom, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, on a CO2 tank, it's opposite on like the regulator. Like 2 winters ago, I was like, hooked up my keg. I thought it was off. Just like turned it up. Like, why is beer shooting out so fast? And I thought it was like, because I'd gotten a new regulator. I'm like, there's something wrong with this regulator. I'm like, well, it's brand new. I don't know. I'm like, I've turned it all the way off, and it's something like, because the needle was showing 0 because it was buried. So I thought it was at 0,
but it was cranked.
It was cranked all the way up. And then they're like, well, it's you don't really turn it that way. That's to open it up. I'm like, well, that's dumb. People designing equipment need to understand that 70% of the public are like me. We're quite moronic when it comes to that stuff.
I'd like to see this regulator. I've never seen one go that way.
Well, maybe they sold me a lemon. I don't know. I can't take it back now because there's no brick and mortars now.
With all due respect, they're usually righty-tighty.
Yeah. Well, I've had gas issues for decades, but ever since I've had the kegerator, the gas issues have taken on a different kind of a feel. So, okay, let's zero in on line cleaning specifically. So you arrive at the place. What's the process like?
Well, there's a couple different processes. There's called static cleaning, and then there's recirculation cleaning. So I do recirculation cleaning 90% of the time. I'll do static cleaning when it's kind of more of a roll-in.
Okay.
It's and then I'll hook up the recirculation like every 6 months. The main reason why I only do static cleaning with that is, one, it's a pretty good cleaning. Also, the lines are so short and they're not enclosed that I can kind of see what's going on. You can kind of just inspect them.
Okay. So what are you looking for? Like you say,
I'm just looking for buildup.
Okay.
Gunk. I'm looking for beer stone. I'm looking for left behind yeast.
Okay.
I'm looking for mold. That's kind of all the things that affects the flavor of your beer, how it pours, all those good things.
Yeah.
All those great things, right, that you don't want.
Okay. So you're predominantly concerned with like what you see in the line. Do you take apart the faucets like
every time?
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what's the best way to clean the faucet?
Just take it apart.
Okay. Do you recommend on some surfaces people say don't use a brush because you'll scratch it, and that will allow that, if you scratch plastic or something, that's a place where bacteria can grow. With a Perlick faucet, I always use that little kind of mini.
So Perlick has a weird design where they say that their faucets don't need to be taken off or taken apart. And they have a weird flute in it. The jury's kind of out. I disagree with Perlick.
Yeah.
I take them apart.
Okay. Yeah, because it's not hard.
No.
You unscrew the top, pull the ball valve out, and then you've got the...
but it's really not that hard. Exactly. Just take them apart, and I say scrub them with a brush.
Okay. Yeah.
Small brush. You're just trying to get the gunk off.
Okay.
You're not trying to sand, drywall.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get the gunk out. So just get in there, clean it, throw in some caustic, soak them up a bit, put them back together.
Okay.
Put it back on.
Now, when you say caustic, what do you mean?
Caustic cleaner.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get this as a home brewer. There's all kinds of companies. Just Google beer line cleaner. You'll come up with 3 different brands.
And caustic is different than sanitizer. Because
Correct.
sanitizer is the stuff that I see, when you're at a brewery, you pour a sample off like maybe the tank or something. I always see people spraying every surface with this. It's like a clear plastic bottle with a green label on it. And I'm guessing that's not caustic because caustic is probably not to be ingested. But like
Right.
the sanitizer is easy. Like you can if you ingest it, it's not going to kill you.
Well, some can, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's probably more of a food grade sanitizer that
Okay.
they're using. Caustic cleaner is going to rip beer stone out, which is just notorious for. I mean, for any home brewer, you've probably seen them in the bottom of your corny kegs if you are in draft. It builds up. It's like a white scale,
Yeah.
and it's so hard to get rid of without
Okay.
a good caustic. And even if once it builds up, sometimes it takes a couple times.
Okay.
So, like, say you hired me to clean your beer lines, I might not get it all in one.
Okay.
It might take months.
Okay.
Depends how bad the buildup is.
And that's how you get return business. Hey, you got to have me back in 2 weeks. That's interesting to know. So you take everything apart, run the caustic through. You're looking to eliminate.
So I have recirculation pumps and stuff like that. So on a
Okay.
home brew level, is that where you want to go with this?
Well, I guess we can start with like the professional or like.
So if I'm recirculation, I take all the faucets out.
Okay.
I connect all the couplers in the cooler together, and I connect all the lines, daisy chain them all together.
Oh.
And then I run a pump.
Okay.
So to make that
So it
as
just goes
easy
through
as possible,
everything.
it goes in one. Then in the cooler, it'll come up 2. Then it comes out 2 at the faucet level, goes into 3 at the faucet, goes back to the cooler, connects, goes up 4 in the cooler, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And it'll do that for 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay. So on a 30 draft or 30 tap thing, just like probably the time consuming part is just hooking all of that up.
Yeah, the hooking up is the quick part. It's
Okay.
actually getting the chemical from point A to point B.
Oh.
So you got to run it, right?
Yeah.
Well, so you never run 30 lines at a time. The most I ever do is 8 to 12.
Yeah.
So you got to do them in banks of 12.
Oh, okay.
And so even then, I mean, it really depends on your line length. But like, here, for example, Sea Salt, they have 80-foot lines.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it takes a long time to get. So I only do these in banks of 10.
Okay. And then they've got like that trailer truck. Is that as complicated or the same kind of a deal, just different?
Lines are a lot shorter. Those
Okay.
are only like 30 feet. Those are the cooler's directly below.
Okay.
But
All right.
by moving, that used to be the original cooler that actually fed the front.
Oh, okay.
And by removing that, we actually shaved 20 feet off their lines. And then these became 30-footers. And I want to say those are 60 to 80.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember.
Okay.
They're long enough where when I'm doing a rack of 10 in there, it takes a while
Okay.
to
Yeah.
get the chemical.
I would imagine. Yeah, that's very interesting. So you said cleaning lines every 2 weeks is kind of like the industry standard.
Correct.
What happens if you don't clean your lines?
Well, you're going to get beer stone for sure.
Okay.
You're going to get yeast buildup, and you're going to get mold. And people can say, I don't need to do it every 2 weeks. I need to do it every month. Yeah, you can. And then you can call me when your line cleaner's not doing a good job.
Yeah.
We have a couple companies in town that are running around saying, oh, you only have to do it, every month. And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I've seen some of these accounts.
Yeah.
They're not good. They're not clean. When I can hook up and within one day start pulling garbage out, I should never see anything. It should almost be when I'm cleaning the line, like I'm not doing anything.
Right. Yeah.
When I start seeing flakes in your beer, that's when a lot of times what ends up happening when I take over accounts like that is people come in and they go, hey, you left and there's a bunch of stuff in our beer. Well, yeah, we just knocked her loose, and it's gonna take a couple cleanings to get it out.
Yeah. Do you think that like your experience as a head brewer, like, because so you walk into a place, maybe you know from either being in there or word of mouth, they're like, hey, you should maybe slip a card to these folks. They're pouring all sorts of weird stuff.
I mean, I don't really know when I walk in. It's usually more about like just getting the account. It's usually once I'm there, I'm like, holy crap.
Okay. Surprise. I didn't know they were doing another Ghostbusters movie, but so from the patron standpoint, do I need to be concerned about drinking beer off a dirty line?
Oh yeah.
What's like, I mean, I've had instances where I've been to a place and I've had like a couple beers, and then the next day wake up with a headache, and it's not a hangover.
So that's worst case scenario,
okay.
Right? So now you got like full on bacteria that's built up.
Yeah.
So that's the worst case scenario. You got to remember the parts per million per glass is pretty low. So if you're cleaning all the time, you should be okay, right? For that point of it.
Right.
What's the flavor profiles are going to be just juiced.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. The beer is not. If you've ever had a beer that you drink a lot and it tastes different at a bar, it's probably because their lines aren't clean.
Will it come off as like a diacetyl flavor, or more like a cardboardy flavor, or kind of like what are the telltale, like, I know with certain like off flavors in beer, there's like a pretty consistent, like, okay, it'll either probably smell like this or taste like this.
Could be sour.
Okay.
Sour's a big one.
Okay. Yeah, there's one place I'm thinking of. I haven't been there for probably 10 years, but like that was the thing, and I'm like, this just doesn't taste right.
Yeah.
And the bartender assured me,
sure,
that's a fresh keg. I'm like, I don't think it's the beer.
Yeah.
I think it's like, so I'm like, after that, just if I go there, I would only get like beer in the bottle.
Right.
So like
the thing of it is, as a, I know I'm talking about my company here and stuff like that, but from somebody who did own a tap room, that's not the place to short yourself.
What do you mean by that?
That's not the place to say, all right, well, we're having a rough month. We're not going to pay the line cleaner. That's the worst place to start.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get backwards. It's hard to get back to where you were.
Yeah.
So, like, if, say you have a cleaner and he's solid, he's coming in every 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden you don't have a cleaner for 6 months. COVID was horrible. Recouping a lot of stuff out here from COVID still.
Okay.
Fixing some of that because, ultimately a lot of these lines were abandoned.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would imagine probably a lot of the line cleaning businesses probably shut it down. Yeah. Well, there's no business, moving on to something else.
Yeah, there was one in town that left for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to say which ones, but are there, how many other line cleaning businesses are out there?
I don't really know what my competition is, to be honest with you. I mean, I know my buddy, and I know that there's a group of us out here that like just small guys that are literally looking for like 50 accounts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there's a bunch of us out here like that. There's some other bigger outfits out there.
Okay.
They've come in recently. There's two that I know for sure that are bigger outfits. Mm-hmm. One's really good.
Yeah.
The other one's garbage.
Okay.
And I won't mention.
I'll flip a coin. You might get like. So when you're talking to people, how do you differentiate yourself from other people? Like why does going with First Draft Tap Solutions make sense for either a bar, restaurant, or a brewery?
Well, ultimately you're buying
or
me.
brew pub.
You're buying me.
Yeah.
So if you're not happy with my service, you get to talk to me.
That's
so
right.
You're not talking to.
And now let me tell you, folks, talking with Brett is a pleasure. Like a walk down Main Street in the 4th of July. Just the breeze in your hair. I mean, he was a monk for a day. He has a very calming effect on me.
But yeah, you get to talk to me. So my phone's always on. So when you call and you have an issue, whether that's service or whether that's, hey, something didn't look right when you left today, you get to talk to me. I don't have to track down who cleaned your line that day.
Right.
And that is literally my model.
That's great. See, I think that's great.
I've done the brewery. I've done the employees.
Yeah.
I've done all of it. I've been down that road. And now I just want to focus on, honestly, really good clients.
Yeah.
So my plan is to really just sell a premium service for premium clients.
Yeah.
And how do you differentiate if you're a premium client? Well, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But like I wanna that's how I differentiate myself. Every account matters. So I still am a part of Wabasha, I just don't work there.
Yeah.
So I treat every account as it's Wabasha.
Yeah.
I still clean Wabasha as well. So I think about that when I go in.
Yeah.
And so also my years of experience in the brewing background, it comes with, a lot of technical that, to be honest with you, it's hard. That shit's hard to train. You learn by doing and fucking up.
Yeah.
I have fucked up enough, where I have a lot of more training now where that I've done myself, where when things get to a certain way, I already kind of know the answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And another thing I tell people too, like a lot of the service stuff, I mean, if you're having a problem, 90% of the time I could talk you over the phone and we don't even have to talk about money.
Yeah.
Like we just did a quick thing over the phone. Did that work? No.
That's I think that is, I don't know, that's kind of like an old school way of doing things. Like, and I don't mean old school in a bad way. I mean like, oh yeah, this was easy. Mm-hmm. No, you don't need to pay for that because, we were just having a conversation and that goes such a long way.
Yeah.
With people when, you take your car to get fixed and, it's making a weird noise and they're like, well, it was just this. I'm not charging you for that.
Yeah.
That was simple. Not only am I going to continue to go to that place, give that place my business, I'm going to tell everybody I know who has a car, go to this person because they will not screw you over and they'll just help you. Mm-hmm. Like that's such an underrated thing.
You don't need to get paid for everything.
Right.
And that's just kind of my hippie idealism, however you want to look at
that's
it.
This is what happens when you become a monk for a day, folks. You lose capitalism goes out the window and you just want to help people.
You just don't need to get paid for everything. The money will come.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not looking to become a millionaire out here doing this. I want to pay my mortgage and I want to spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I was married to a business for a long time and now it's time for me,
Yeah.
And so that's why I say I want to select few clients. I honestly don't really want to work more than 3 days a week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of what I'm pushing at. I'm like, all right, we'll do Monday through Wednesday, and then we'll do service calls, if there's any, on Thursday and Friday.
Nice. Perfect.
Or Saturday, Sunday. That's usually when they call.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a little break because I'm almost out of my... we didn't say what we were drinking. I'll say that I'm drinking the Po' Boy Pills from Fulton, which is like, I think, the beer that they created for sea salt.
They did.
So it's delicious, and it's almost gone. Your beer's gone. I think we should take a break and get a little bit more loudmouth soup here so we can really really let it fly in the second half.
Sounds good.
So we're here at Sea Salt, and you are listening to A One Pint Stand. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you're enjoying A One Pint Stand. My aim is to help spread the word about craft beer. Enjoying craft beer is a passion of mine, and I love chatting about it with other people. A One Pint Stand has a goal of helping breweries tell their stories. I love to get out in and beyond Minnesota to visit breweries, beer bars, and meet other interesting beer people. If you are also into those things, you probably want to keep tabs on the show. So go ahead and follow A One Pint Stand on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We would also appreciate any and all positive reviews on Spotify and iTunes to help make it easier for other craft beer listeners to find us. If you like reading about craft beer, I started my own blog, and all of my writing can be found at aonepintstand.com. After 8 years of writing as editor-in-chief at Beer Pluma, it was time for me to start my own blog. So make sure you check out the blog for some interesting craft beer content of the written variety. I truly appreciate you listening and taking time to enjoy our stories. Now, back to the show.
How about a beer?
Welcome back to the second half of our interview. Again, we're at Sea Salt in Minnehaha Park. Right, the falls are just behind us here, and we're at Sea Salt on a nice May 28th evening. I think the Wolves are going to hopefully win a game tonight, so we can have one more home game. But I'm with Brett Erickson of First Draft Tap Solutions. Brett, we've known each other for many years, and it's been kind of fun to see you kind of branch off into this business of yours. Now, one of the reasons, in addition to fresh air, cold beer, and seafood, why we picked Sea Salt is that you did the install for their new draft system.
Yeah.
That sounds like a colossal job.
Well, it was an undertaking.
Yeah. If I would have tried that, you would have needed an undertaker because I would have died.
Not because it was installing draft lines.
Okay.
I mean, that when you're installing draft lines, they all have their little secret fun things that come up. This is an old building and a park building.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to do with part of it has a basement under it. Part of it doesn't have a basement under it.
Okay.
How do you get the lines from point A to point B? Some of it's in the attic. Some of it's downstairs. Yeah, it was a little bit of a mess. I could not have done this without my buddy Tiki.
Okay.
We did this one together.
All right.
When this came up, I kind of led the whole show, but for the most part, Tiki was my eyes and ears, man. We worked well together, we found out.
Yeah, well, that's good, because sometimes it's like you find out that...
He was my assistant brewer back in the beginning.
Yeah.
So we know how to work together.
Well, and you all have been friends for
years.
Decades.
And he comes with lots of drafts experience, and so this was a fun one.
Okay.
Every day we left, we're like, wow, what did we get done today?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, we got it done today.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. How did you become involved? How did they...
So, interesting thing, Tiki used to, from Best Line Cleaning, used to clean here as kind of a favor to a friend of ours who's a manager. He didn't have time to do it. And so when I started to clean, he's like, oh, you want to take sea salt? I do not have time for it.
Okay.
So I said, well, yeah, I'm looking for clients. I don't even have any. I think I had Wabasha and Chatterbox at the time.
Okay.
So I took it on. At the time, it was just a 12-line tap system and not really that big of a deal. And then that was last summer.
Okay, I was going to say. Because they don't have that many tap lines.
No, they have. Now they have.
He's doing the math.
Yeah, they have 32.
Yeah.
No.
That's wild.
In 2 different spots, though.
Okay.
Wait, no. 31.
Well, is this area that we're looking... So we're kind of in the... What would you call this? The auxiliary space? Indoor shelter?
I don't know what you... I always call it the pavilion. But
okay, so we're in the pavilion part of it. And you could... Before, I don't know that... I guess I don't remember there being a window or anything there. Is that the new part?
That's the new part.
Okay, all right.
So the new part, they're right now, I don't know what they're doing out of here. To be honest with you, they're not quite open. The bar will not be open. They can't sell beer out of here till June 22nd. Just some permitting snafus that happen with everything. I think they have weekend passes, however. So until the city gets the paperwork done, you know how you got to go sit down in a board meeting and all those opposed saying nay.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what needs to happen.
Okay.
So from what I understand,
so once they get that green light, it'll be full on.
It'll be full on. what this is
it looks nice in there. I see subway tile. Anytime I see subway tile, I'm like, oh, this is a classy.
Yeah.
It looks just so nice.
It does. It's shiny. But they're going to be selling sandwiches out of here.
Okay.
And beer.
Yeah.
Nate P. Has a sandwich.
Does he really?
After him.
God.
He helped make this sandwich.
Of course he did.
I better be careful how I word this.
You don't say anything bad about Nate P.
No.
He's like my man crush.
No, I'm not. I've known him for 20 years.
That's so awesome.
What I will say is, it was a collaboration. That's the best way to put it. Because when I said that, I was like, oh, you get a sandwich? You made a sandwich? I was like, whoa. No, it was a collaboration with Sea Salt. I was there with the chef, and they made it together. They made the decision. So,
fun.
But also, don't quote me on any of it because I don't really know.
So that do you know what it's called?
I think it's.
Is it called the Clown Rag Special? That can't be it.
Find out.
Yeah, we'll find it out. But I think it would go with this po' boy pills quite well. I'm guessing because Nate P. In addition to being a master of field, stream, and camping stove, he also
Crocs.
sells. Yes, he also has his Crocs in adventure mode 99% of the time, and sells beer for Fulton. So, it looks really nice. I'm excited to come here and
it's really fun to actually go in there and clean.
Yeah.
I cleaned in there today.
Okay.
Even though they're not pouring, something that people don't really know about is just because you're not using them doesn't mean you shouldn't clean them. If there's beer sitting in them, you should clean them.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So, they got cleaned today, and it's just nice cleaning brand new spot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, was this kind of like the biggest tap draft system install that you've ever done?
I did Wabasha.
Okay.
So this was, I would say, so I did Wabasha, or I helped with Wabasha. Actually, Tiki did a lot of that. I shouldn't take any of that credit. I was there.
You were yelling at him from across. No, not that. You need a crescent wrench.
Him and this other guy did most of that install, but like just dealing with it and whatever.
Yeah.
And being part of it. I guess, because there was a whole, like, we're going to put these lines here, and then the old cooler that's downstairs that's feeding these lines is now going to they're going to come from the new cooler.
Okay.
So, really, I installed 24 new taps.
Yeah, that's a big...
Yeah. One had a tower already, right? But
okay.
Like, for the most part, that's kind of the easy part. It's really about it's like an electrician.
Yeah.
Just trying to get the wires there. That's the hard part.
So at Wabasha, you got 16 lines, correct?
12.
12, okay.
And we'll be adding another 4, I think, soon.
Okay. Get that little kid to stop ringing her bell on the bike over there. Hey, this is, you're interrupting the show. Is that kind of like something... I'm going to go over there and strangle her. Is that kind of something that you are looking to do more of? Kind of like big projects like that? I know you said you only want to work 3 days a week, but is that kind of like a goal?
I'll always find time for an install.
Yeah.
The installs for me, because before Wabasha, I was a union carpenter.
Okay.
So I kind of missed the job meetings and stuff like this, and this was a real big one like that.
Yeah.
Because you had the park involved. You had the city involved, you had the general involved, and then you had all the owners involved, right?
Okay.
And so I was at a job meeting every Thursday at 11.
Okay.
Which was super fun.
Yeah.
For me, because it was like a blast from the past. I haven't done that stuff for a very long time. And just going back and being like, oh, and I remember one day one of the owners said, we were talking, me and the general and some of the other guys about different things. And one of the owners goes, man, I'm sure glad you guys know what's going on because I don't have a clue. And I just, hit the soup on the back. I said, we only know just a little bit of our job. It's this guy's job to know everything. He's like, hey, don't be spreading rumors.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Yeah, I mean, you spent many years in trades, and I suppose like that's,
It was super fun getting back into it and putting on the hard hat, the
Yeah.
safety glasses, and the neon
Yeah.
vest, and
I mean, I do that every Thursday night at home, but that's not for a draft install.
But to answer your question, yeah, that and service.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do, honestly, with the line cleaning is line cleaning, obviously, a part of it, but I'd like, a mass majority of it just to be like service calls.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say I only want to clean lines every 3 days,
Sure.
for 3 days a week, and then save time for things, because things are going to come up.
Yeah.
People need help.
Yeah. You might want to go get your monk for a week certification, and that'll be a chunk of time. Let's get back to the home brewing thing, because I think that's interesting. Home brewing was where craft beer started. Mm-hmm. And I know quite a few home brewers, and I know that maybe one of the more, maybe intimidating isn't the right word, but maybe one of the more kind of fuzzy areas is, how do you clean your lines? And I'm sure there's like a variety of different setups. Kegerators come in all shapes and sizes, but like, do you want to take our listeners through kind of like the nuts and bolts of, if you are a home brewer and you're like, well, I've only been cleaning my lines every time I change a keg, maybe I need to up my frequency, or not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you
what we got
start?
to remember, like you were saying before we went on, there's a lot of fear with people drinking your home beer already.
Well, right, yeah,
And then
exactly.
we're going to add the...
Heck, we could just say there's a lot of fear drinking beer in general. Like the quality is not always what it should be, but especially on a homebrew level.
I'll break this down kind of simply. There's a couple small devices you can buy online. Don't cost a lot of money. It's like a pump device. You take the ball and lock taps off and you pump it through.
That's what I have.
Yeah, I think they're fine. It's better than doing nothing. What I would suggest is grab another corny keg that you have. Because if you have one, you have another one, and you probably have an empty one.
Okay.
When you get done with a beer, clean it out. Always have one, as soon as it's done and it's cleaned out. I mean, clean it, put your caustic cleaner in there, run it through your lines, let it sit for 20 to 25 minutes. If you got 5 gallons, you can actually run it a little harder, too. Depends on how many taps you got. Like, some guys have, 10 taps.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a neighbor. He's got 6.
If I had a neighbor that... If I had a neighbor that had 6... If he had 6 taps, I mean, to be honest with you, the corny keg way is the way to go. Just load it up and just run it, run a half gallon.
Okay. So you're saying fill up the corny keg with cleaning solution, with caustic, run a half gallon through the line, then do it each one.
And if you want to get fancy, they sell color tabs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say throw on a maid outfit. Okay.
They sell chemical color tabs online. You can get 500 of them in a little thing for, I don't know, $25. And
okay.
At least you can see your chemical color.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It just comes out blue.
Sure.
Instead of it being clear.
Okay.
So that's the way to go on that end of things. Now, there's a whole other side of this that we're not talking about.
Okay. What side is that?
Well, real quick, let me just back up a little bit. Run your chemical in. Untap it. Pull your faucets off.
Okay.
Take your faucets apart. It's really hard to say how to do this on a podcast.
Yeah.
You
can just Google it.
There's got to be a YouTube video.
Oh, I know there's tons of
3 pieces. Don't be afraid. If you break it, you won't.
Yeah.
And if you
they're metal.
And if you're really afraid that you're going to break it, just buy a new one.
Right. They're not that expensive. Yeah.
They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
Take your faucet apart. Take a small brush and get them at any hardware store. Scrub out the inside of your flute. Scrub out your faucet. Put it all back together. Put it back on. Rinse it. Run your beer back in.
Yeah.
Now there's a whole other side of this that we're not talking about.
Okay.
And that's people who aren't home brewers but just have kegs at home.
Yeah. So that's what I have.
Yeah.
I get the commercial keg.
Commercial keg.
And for me, I don't always have a keg. So when I used to have more kegs in there, I would do it every 2 weeks. But it was just with that hand thing, that little small thing. So, and I don't have corny kegs. So what do you do in that situation if you're like, get a corny keg and pump it through?
No, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do and get creative. But that's why I bring up this market. Because you got the home brewers that are kind of used to putting things together and making things work.
Yeah.
Then you have other people that just want to buy kegs and just have them in their house.
That's me. I don't know how to put anything together and make it work.
So your best bet at that is just to buy a pod. And a pod is just a plastic container that has a Sankey tap on it. And you can buy whatever you're using. So you can buy tops for all of them. You can get a D, an S. You can get whatever you're using.
Okay.
And so you just tap it, put that full of chemical. I get 2 of them. One for rinse, one for clean.
Okay.
Yep. I would tap it. It'll take you 5 minutes. Run it in.
So, okay, when you say, I want to back up, because I think what do you mean by the different letters?
So there's a D, which is what most American kegs use.
Like the coupler style.
The coupler style.
Exactly. Oh, I see.
Then there's an S.
Is that like the European one? Okay.
So there's several different kinds.
Okay.
Generally, if you're in America, you're using a D. If you're somewhere else, you just got to figure out what you're using.
Okay.
What you got.
So you just like tap you tap the pod
just like
full
a keg.
of the cleaning, and then
you run the chemical in. You let it sit for 20 minutes. Pull your faucet, just like I said. Then you're gonna rinse it. Then you're gonna put your rinse, and then you're gonna put your beer back on.
Okay.
And like honestly, I mean, you can get industrial ones, and you can spend, I mean, for most homebrew setups, they're coming out of a fridge. Get the gallon.
Yeah.
Get 2 1-gallon pods.
Okay.
Fine.
So when you say let it sit in the line, that's like you hook it up and then let it physically in the tube. Mm-hmm. But you said take the faucet off, or do you leave how does that work?
Well, once you tap it, you run the chemical in the line.
Yeah.
Then you untap it, then take the faucet off.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
And so what I like to do in a situation like that is I'll run all the beer out of the line.
Yep.
Usually what I'll do, I like to rinse it first. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But especially with a short system, it's really more about saving chemical.
Yeah.
So just bleed off as much as you can. I like to rinse, and then I run until I see my chemical come through, which I use color tabs so I can see that.
Okay.
And then I'll run I don't know, maybe a half gallon or so.
Okay.
And that half gallon is what I actually use to scrub my faucets with.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So then I just take them, throw them in there. They usually soak in there when I'm doing other stuff.
Okay.
And then I'll start taking them apart, scrubbing them in there. Then I'll rinse those all good, put them all back together.
Okay.
Put it back on, rinse, then add your beer.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Especially if you have a short system like that. Another thing that I like to tell people that have short systems, cleaning them every 2 weeks. People get busy. Mm-hmm. Life gets busy. You can't just go, okay, on the dot, I'm going to clean these every 2 weeks.
You don't have to tell me. I'm an avid stamp collector. I know how busy life gets. Oh, my God.
What I would tell people in those scenarios, clean them as often as you possibly can. And then once a year, just rip your lines out and put in new ones.
Yeah. It's not expensive. But so where do you go? Now that there's no Northern Brewer, there's no all the brick and mortar homebrew shops are gone.
So it's hard for me to talk about that because I'm bummed about that happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been hooked into these wholesale people for years. So I just have, if I need something, you just go to Micromatic.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, before this podcast, I won't lie, and we were talking about some of the stuff, I was like, well, I better Google where people can get line cleaner for home brewing. And I did it right here on my phone. I was like, it looks like they can get it on the phone.
Okay, yeah. So online is...
Online,
and
I think it really is the best bet. Okay. Another thing to do is ask a local brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, these guys are generally pretty cool, want to help out.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have 10 feet of line? These guys have so much crap laying around.
Yeah.
Well, and Wabasha has spools of this stuff.
Okay.
That we used,
So you heard it here first. You need line, head down to the west side of St. Paul.
Watch the owner, Jason's gonna
Ask
come
for
and kill me.
Jason. He'll gladly cut you off 6 feet of tubing. Yeah. That's interesting. And you know, like you said, clean them as often as you can. Ideally 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't, the world is not going to stop to rotate on its axis.
Remember, ultimately, it's your beer.
But, right.
When we're talking on the other end, we're talking about commercial stuff and restaurants. Like this is, if you're making beer, especially if you're making your own, you want it to taste exactly how you want it to taste.
Right. Yeah.
And we're all, especially brewers, man. We're judgy.
Yeah. Well, and Minnesotan brewers especially, because they've got that Minnesota nice thing happening. So if somebody's listening right now, maybe they're a restaurant bar owner, or maybe they have a tap room or a brew pub or a brewery or whatever. Or maybe they're a home brewer with lots of money to throw around. They want to hire you to come to your base. How do people book an appointment or get set up a meeting?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty open. People could just call me on the phone.
Okay.
Text me or call me at 612-839-5304. I really don't care. You can also email me, and that's firstdraft@gmail.com. And then I also have firstdraftlinecleaning@gmail.com. Right now, it's we call it First Draft Tap Solutions, because we're kind of in the process of changing the name. Because originally, when I got into this, it was just going to be a line cleaning company, and it just kind of evolved naturally. I didn't realize that, shit, that's right, there's other stuff. And even my buddy Tiki's like, I don't even understand why you're getting into all that, because he just likes to clean. So that's kind of what I was thinking about, and it's just kind of evolved. So I've kind of changed the names. So right now, the emails are kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But like right now, everything's kind of pushing one way. So just email me.
Okay. Well, that's good. Or you can reach out to me.
Sure.
Message me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and I can get you connected with Brett. Okay. Let's end with this. I don't want any details about where. What is the gnarliest thing you've ever seen, or what's the most? You walk into the cooler and you're like, "Good God, I can't believe they're serving beer out of here." What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
I've seen a lot of stuff, and what I'll say is what I see the most, and this, if you're a bartender listening, man, that drain, that the beer goes down, just every once in a while, just open up that cabinet underneath, or maybe get on your hands and knees and just look underneath, because sometimes that mold spore is the size of a baseball. And
that's so gross.
Another thing that I think that people should start doing, installing drains in their cooler.
Oh, sure.
Install a drain in your cooler. You can pull everything out.
Yeah.
You can scrub it from top to bottom with all kinds of disinfectant. Spray it down. All goes down the drain. You squeegee it. I go back to the brewery world. I'm like, why isn't there drains in these? It only makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's just clean this from top to bottom. Yeah.
Well, this has been very insightful. I am going to sleep tonight and have nightmares about baseball-sized mold spores in coolers. Well, again, First Draft Tap Solutions. Brett gave his number. If you have a tap question or just a life question, I mean, can we funnel people with spirituality questions since you recently returned from becoming a monk for a day? Maybe hold off on those spiritual questions, but I love chatting with you. It's always fun. I always feel like I come away with more knowledge about beer than I started with, and I'm really excited that you have created this business and are doing the Lord's work of cleaning tap lines, because the Lord knows we need clean beer lines, because I don't know about you all, but I do like to drink clean beer out of clean lines. So, Brett, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, this has been another on-location episode of A One Pint Stand here at Sea Salt in Minneapolis, talking to Brett from First Draft Tap Solutions. Cheers. With that, we are at the close of another episode of A One Pint Stand. I want to thank Brett Erickson of First Draft Tap Solutions for coming on. I thought that whether you're a professional in the industry looking to have someone clean your lines, or you are a home brewer who just wants to make sure that Auntie Mildred doesn't have to pop a gas X after drinking your home brew, you probably learned something. If you're somebody who wants to get in touch with Brett, go ahead and email him at firstdraft@gmail.com, or, reach out and touch someone, get him on the horn. He said he prefers that, so that's exciting. You can give him a call at 612-839-5304. I always enjoyed chatting with Brett. He is just fun. He's got a great sense of humor. He also really cares about helping people, whether that's, back when he was at Wabasha with brewing good beer and making sure people were having a good time in the tap room. And now with First Draft, he wants to make sure that people have somebody reliable to clean their lines. So I think that's really awesome. Brett is just a great guy. I'm also happy to announce that Brett has decided to become a One Pint Stand's first sponsor. So you're going to hear some future advertisements for First Draft Tap Solutions on the show. If you're thinking, hey, I'd like to be a sponsor for a One Pint Stand, we can make that happen. Just shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and we can definitely work something out. So I want to thank Sea Salt for letting us camp out with the podcasting gear, and I want to thank Fulton Brewing for brewing such a delicious Po' Boy Pills. I will definitely be drinking more of that during the Summer of Dan. So thanks for listening. This has been another episode of A One Pint Stand, a Minnesota craft beer podcast where the pants stay on, but the caps come off. Cheers.
I met a monk, and he made me a monk for a day.
Oh, okay.
So in Lao culture, when someone passes away, the more monks at their funeral, the higher up they go into the heavens.
Oh.
And so what they started
That's
doing...
got to be tough if you've got a fear of heights.
Exactly. Right?